Hi, I'm Kate. Welcome to Blooms in the Yard. Today I have another thrift store treasures for the garden video for you all. And today's is a little bit even special because I have done some larger projects inside the house that were inspired by some of my thrift store finds. So super excited to show you what I've been working on over the last month. I'm going to start with the kind of smaller purchases and we'll work our way up to what I consider to be kind of epic projects. So this one I was really excited about. It's a little vase and it is glass. It's kind of like mercury glass, which I'm a little bit enamored with right now. It's more kind of shiny on the inside and it's a little more dull on the outside, which I really like. Like it almost looks like silver, but you can kind of tell that it's a little more mercury glass. This was $1.99, which I just think is amazing. It does have a little chip in it, but I don't think that really matters too much to me. And I think it was really cute for $1.99. I'm gonna put it in the back so I don't break it because I do have a story about that. I'm breaking things lately. This is my next thing, also $1.99, just a cute scoop. So I'm thinking I can use it for my potting mix or something. I also thought I might use it for my big canister of oatmeal, but when I was paying for it, the lady was like, "What is it?" Because it didn't have a price on it. And I was like, I don't know what it's supposed to be. I'm going to use it as a scoop. So it does say Brookstone on it, and I might like sand that out because I want it to look, you know, kind of old. And anyway, I thought that was cute. I'll use it for either potting mix or oatmeal. Then I have this basket, and look, it's like perfect for 2 or 3 inch little square pots, which I happen to have a bunch of. And when I'm growing my seedlings, if they outgrow the 6 cell little packs, then I put them into the larger 3 inch containers. And so I thought this would be perfect for when I'm putting those seedlings that I've grown out into the garden. I generally would carry them around on cookie sheets, rusty old cookie sheets. So this will be way more cute for me to carry them out to the garden and plant them. This was $6.99. And this is something that I'm really excited about because I think it's just a little more unique than, you know, most wire baskets that I see. Just kind of a unique shape. This was $4.99, so I think a really good deal. I kind of picture this out in the garden, on the ground, like in the front of a border, maybe where I would normally have some annuals, doing some terracotta pots, maybe on the deck, maybe on the porch, I'm not sure, but I think it's really cute and unique, and so I thought $5 for that was a really good deal. Now we're going to get into some of the projects that I've been working on. So I got this quilt. It's very large. It's king size quilt and it's just white with blue stitching. So I had been looking for some fabric to recover a chair that was given to me. That chair, it was given to me years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. When I got that chair, the fabric was like this gold burnout velvet and the wood was all covered white, but it had really, I don't know if it had yellowed over time or maybe the top coat had turned it yellow. It was very yellow. So when I got it, I had sanded it down quite a bit, leaving just a little bit of white, but sanded it down almost all to raw wood. And my plan was always to redo the fabric and I just never did. So it's been in my bedroom for years with this gold burnout velvet. And it didn't bother me excessively much, but I had always wanted to recover it. And I decided this winter was the time. I've been looking for fabric really for several months. I've driven 45 minutes to a home decor store because without Joann Fabrics around anymore, it's kind of hard to find really any fabric, and especially home decor fabric. So I don't really like to buy fabric online because I can't feel it. I can't really tell the quality. It's hard to find and it's pretty expensive, like $50 or more per yard, and I needed more than a yard. So I had seen a HomeWorthy video where a woman had recovered some chairs in some quilts, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea. So I've been looking out for a quilt at a thrift store for a while now. This wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but I thought it was really nice, and I decided to get it. Now this was $30, so a little bit much to pay at a thrift store, I think. But I think that it was well worth it when you see how the chair turned out. I dropped my daughter off at work. The thrift store is across the street from her. Dropped her off at 5. By the time my husband got home at 8, I had already draped the pattern on the chair and was cutting this out with that pattern. So I jumped right in. So I do have, my degree is in fashion design, so I know how to drape clothing on a dress form, and I just kind of treat chairs like they're a dress form, and I just kind of drape it and pin it, and I mark it on the muslin fabric with a pencil, then I sew it up, and voila. So for this one, I did have to hand sew the fabric below the wooden handles. I couldn't figure out a way to do that without hand sewing a little bit, but I kind of like that look. It's a little more homespun and just one of a kind, so I really don't mind that look of the hand sewing. And then once I had kind of sewn and done everything I could, I stapled the rest of the fabric just onto the bottom of the chair, and I'm so thrilled with how it turned out. It really kind of brightens up the space, and I just love it. And you know, the chair itself always had like kind of a cool shape with the armrests. So super thrilled with how that turned out. And so it was $30 for that quilt. And I have a ton of fabric left. Like this probably took up maybe 1/4 of the quilt, because again, it's a king size, so loads of material to work with here. So I could make some pillows out of this still, or I could just cut that one end off and still have a pretty good size quilt. The opposite side is just all blue. The binding is blue. So that's kind of what I had to work with. My next inspiration for a big project was this mirror. And I don't know if you can tell, but this mirror is actually broken. It was not broken when I bought it, and it was not broken when I worked on this project. It broke in the middle of the project, and this was the inspiration for the project. But all's well that ends well. My idea was to put this over the door in my bedroom and do some trim around the door and above this arched mirror. The paint that I used on my kitchen table looked like it really matched this really well. So I thought, I don't even have to paint this. I can just do the trim and paint it with this kitchen table paint that I have and hang this up, and I think it would be really beautiful. And I cut all the pieces. I used the jigsaw for these rounded pieces that were gonna go over the arched mirror. And I painted everything and distressed it, and the day that I was putting everything back up, the mirror fell down and broke when I was trying to rehang the door. I just had the mirror hanging by one nail, just kind of temporarily until I permanently attached everything. And when it fell, I just kind of like stood there in shock. But I wasn't that upset, because I was like, okay, the door is distressed. We'll just use the mirror broken. So like from the first second it happened, I was just like, it's not that big of a deal. I'll just still use it anyway. But then I started remembering I do have a couple other mirrors that I've bought, and I thought, would one of them maybe work? And maybe you guys remember the black mirror that I have hanging in my garden. Well, I actually have 2 of those that are exactly the same, and the other one's just been stored in my closet. It's been used in the house at different times, and so I pulled that one out, and it was like the exact size of the width of the opening. And I was like, I think this is meant to be. So I did go ahead and disassemble that and paint it with the same paint that I had used on all of the trim and on the door. And I just think it's perfect. I think it's meant to be. It looks like a transom. I mean, this arched mirror would have been great, but I think that this alternative is wonderful too. So all's well that ends well. But it was funny because, you know, my family knows I had been working on this door project for like 2 weeks, and it happened when nobody was at home. So when I went to pick up my daughter from work that day, I was like, so guess what happened to the mirror? And she's like, oh, no. And like, she was like all worried about like me dealing with this loss. And I was like, it's really fine. I've already come up with a new solution. So here, I don't know if you can see, but it's like, it's got several cracks here. It's got a crack there. You can still see this was $6.99. It did kind of get messed up there too, which I don't think really matters, but just the mirror being cracked and broken is kind of the main issue there. So I still might use that for something, you never know. I could just remove the whole back and just have it be, you know, no glass or anything. I did go ahead and work a lot on that door. So all the doors in my house are just like painted white hollow doors, and I've always thought about making them a little more fancy with some trim. And so when I had this idea with this arched mirror, I thought I'll add some trim to that door, and I even wanted to add like some carved wood pieces to make it just feel kind of fancy and antique. I was able to find some carved wood pieces on Amazon for pretty affordable, I thought. So the rectangles and the squares were $10, around $10 for 4 of them. So not too bad. And then this carved piece in the middle of the door was $10 for 1, or maybe it was $11.99 for 1. And it's actually, I think it was like $14 for 2. So I really think that those make this feel really special. I used 2x6s to make these bottom trim pieces and to make this top kind of medallion piece. So I'm just super happy with how that turned out. All the rest of the trim in my house is white, so it's a little bit different to have this turquoise door. But again, I was going for this like old antique door. Like I had gotten it at an antique store and just kind of set the whole thing in place there. That transom over the door, I think really has the look of a window because my room's a very light color and it kind of reflects the light. And so even though I did paint the trim a darker color, I feel like having that mirror above keeps this space kind of lighter. So I'm super happy with how that whole project turned out. And so yes, it was all inspired by this mirror that was $6.99. Interestingly, that black mirror, the 2 black mirrors, I bought them at a garage sale years ago, and they were both $7. So I paid $14 for both of them. I just really feel like what ended up happening was meant to be, and it's all good. So those are my projects. I hope that you were inspired to do something creative with things that you find at a thrift store. If you are watching this channel because you're into gardening and you're like, okay, I'm not really into the indoor stuff, I totally get it. I promise you that once it's nice enough for me to start gardening, I will totally neglect the inside of my house and not do anything inside until like next January again. In the next month or so, all of my focus will be shifting to outside in the garden. I really like to make trellises, and you guys have, I think, seen some of the trellises that I've made in my Go Vertical video. But I kind of felt like this door project had a similar feel, like a similar effect, only inside the house. I am going to be hopefully making a really epic arbor to replace one that will be taken down when they do the storm drain project. I've just always had a store-bought metal arbor over there, and when I bought it, I just bought something really simple and affordable, but I would love to do something a little more elaborate. That's a project coming up sometime this summer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in the garden.